Meta just placed an order so massive it sent a literal shockwave through the semiconductor industry. We aren't just talking about a few thousand chips. We are looking at a strategic pivot worth billions of dollars. For years, Nvidia has been the undisputed king of the AI world, with their H100 GPUs becoming the most sought-after commodity on the planet. But Mark Zuckerberg is doing something unexpected. He's diversifying. Meta is moving a significant portion of its massive compute requirement over to AMD's Instinct line, and the scale of this move is genuinely brilliant.
The Nvidia tax is a real thing. When you're the only game in town, you can charge whatever you want. Meta realized that relying on a single vendor for their entire AI future was a massive strategic risk. By bringing AMD into the fold, Meta isn't just saving money, they're creating competition. They are using their massive buying power to force the entire industry to move faster, and it's working. This isn't a small experiment. Meta is now one of the largest customers for AMD's high-end AI silicon, effectively acting as an anchor for their entire ecosystem.
But why AMD? Why now? To understand that, we have to look at the hardware. The AMD Instinct MI300X isn't just a backup. In some specific workloads, it's a monster. Meta's engineers realized that for the specific way they train their Llama models, AMD's architecture offered some very specific advantages in memory bandwidth and capacity. This isn't just about raw speed, it's about efficiency. When you're running at Meta's scale, even a 5% increase in efficiency translates to hundreds of millions of dollars saved.
The numbers behind this shift are staggering. We are talking about a total infrastructure investment that rivals the GDP of some small nations. Meta is building for a future where AI isn't just a feature, it's the foundation. To power this, they need more than just chips. They need energy, massive, unfathomable amounts of it. This is where the 6 gigawatt plan comes into play. Imagine the power consumption of several large cities, all dedicated to a single goal: training and serving the world's most advanced AI models. That's the scale Meta is operating at.
But here is the part most people miss. This isn't just about buying AMD chips. It's about Meta taking control of their own destiny. They are building a vertically integrated AI stack. By partnering so closely with AMD, Meta gets to influence the hardware roadmap itself. They aren't just buying what's on the shelf, they are helping design what comes next. This move is the first step in a much larger game, a game where Meta isn't just a software company, but a global infrastructure titan. And that's where things get really interesting. To understand why Meta is betting so big on AMD, we have to talk about the memory wall. In the world of AI, raw compute isn't always the bottleneck. It's how fast you can move data. The AMD Instinct MI300X features a staggering 192 gigabytes of HBM3 memory. That's significantly more than the standard Nvidia H100. For massive models like Llama 3, that extra headroom is a game changer. It means Meta can fit larger parts of their models onto a single chip, reducing the need for complex, slow communication between different GPUs. It's about keeping the data close to the fire. Then there's the power problem. Meta is planning for a staggering 6 gigawatts of compute power. To put that in perspective, that's enough to power millions of homes simultaneously. Managing that much electricity isn't just an electrical engineering challenge, it's a thermal one. These chips generate heat like a small sun, and cooling them requires revolutionary data center design. Meta is moving towards custom liquid-to-chip cooling systems to handle the density of these AMD clusters. They're literally building the most advanced refrigerators on Earth. But hardware is nothing without software. For years, Nvidia's CUDA platform has been the moat that kept competitors away. It was the industry standard, and moving away from it was seen as impossible. Meta's secret weapon? PyTorch. Since Meta actually created the most popular AI framework in the world, they have the power to make sure it works perfectly on AMD's ROCm software. They are effectively evaporating Nvidia's software advantage by building the bridge themselves. If the code runs the same on both, the choice becomes purely about the hardware and the price.
However, this shift isn't without its risks. Skeptics point out that AMD's software stock, ROCm, has historically lagged behind CUDA in terms of stability and developer tools. Meta is throwing thousands of engineers at this problem. They are contributing directly to the ROCm codebase, hardening it for production at a scale that AMD couldn't achieve alone. This is a symbiotic relationship. Meta gets the hardware they need, and AMD gets a world-class engineering team to help them finally close the gap with Nvidia. The result is a compute cluster that is unlike anything else in the world, a massive 6 gigawatt beast that combines the best of AMD's silicon with Meta's software expertise. But the most fascinating part, this is just the beginning. To see where this is really going, we have to look at Meta's long-term play for silicon independence. Meta isn't just diversifying, they are preparing to take over the entire stock, and that should make every other player in the industry pay very close attention.
What we are witnessing is the birth of silicon sovereignty. In the AI era, the companies that control the hardware are the ones that control the future. Meta is tired of being a tenant. By moving to AMD and building their own custom MTIA chips, Meta is breaking the vendor lock-in that has defined the tech industry for decades. They are building their own island. This isn't just a business move, it's a defensive one. If supply chains buckle or geopolitical tensions rise, Meta wants to ensure their AI engines never stop humming.
The economic implications are wild. A $100 billion shift doesn't just change Meta's balance sheet. It changes the entire valuation of the semiconductor market. It proves that there is a viable path outside of the Nvidia ecosystem. It gives other tech giants like Microsoft and Google a blueprint for how to balance their own infrastructure. Meta is essentially subsidizing the development of a second, powerful AI hardware ecosystem. They are paying for the road that everyone else will eventually drive on.
But let's be real, Nvidia isn't just going to sit back and watch. They are already responding with even faster chips like the Blackwell B200, promising performance leaps that are hard to ignore. The competition is now a full-blown arms race. Every 6 months, the fastest chip in the world changes. This pace of innovation is genuinely unprecedented in human history. This competition is the best thing that could happen for AI development. It drives prices down and performance up, making massive models more accessible to everyone.
So, what does this mean for the future of Meta? By the end of this decade, they won't just be the company that owns Facebook and Instagram, they will be a compute powerhouse. They are building the open alternative to the closed AI ecosystems. Through the Open Compute project, Meta is sharing their data center designs, forcing the whole industry to standardize. This is a play for the very fabric of the internet. If Meta owns the hardware, the software, and the power, they become the indispensable foundation of the AI age.
The $100 billion pivot to AMD is more than a purchase order. It's a declaration of independence. It's a bet that the future of AI belongs to those who build the infrastructure. As we move into a world of 6 gigawatt compute clusters and trillion parameter models, the lines between software and hardware are blurring forever, and Meta is leading the charge. The next decade of AI won't be won by the smartest algorithm alone. It will be won by the company with the most efficient silicon and the most power. The game has truly changed.